I'm at the village of Bickley, a small hamlet just 5 miles south of Tiverton in the county of Devon in the southwest of the UK. You're not seeing Bickley at its best. This is just an idyllic spot when the sun shines. Today very overcast and it's actually trying to rain, but you can get an idea of how beautiful this area is. There used to be a railway line running through here. Now there's just the station buildings left, and it's been turned into a model railway and a place of entertainment, ideal for bring the children on a sunny day. Up there is the old railway bridge, taking the road over what would have been the railway tracks. Nearby is Bickley Mill, and it has some eating, a restaurant there, bistro and bar. As we walk up the hill through the village of Bickley, high up here we can see the Church of St Mary's. Right opposite the church, I note this building. This used to be the school. What is quite remarkable about this church is that parts of it date from the 11th century. More of it was built in the 12th, and of course it will have been repaired and so on over the centuries. But parts of this are actually 900 years old. There's a very large stone cross here, standing just inside one of the gates, and the memorial is to Maria Carew, 1867. The Carew family were the lords of the manor around here. They were the landed gentry. This one is toppling forward, but we see the dates on it: 1824, 1834. Agnes Pitt and John Pitt, and further down are some others. By the church door here is this very large tomb, very well weathered. There's the remains of an inscription on top, but I'm not able to read it. One suspects it's probably part of the Carew family, but that would need to be confirmed. And alongside it is this horizontal stone, and the inscription is partially readable. And the name is Carew, C-A-R-E-W. This one is quite carefully carved around the top. It is to William King, 1889, aged 81, and a few other members of his family. But here, underneath all the mould and growth, you can see the intricate carving on the stone. In the centre here, it appears to be 2 lilies. One here on the edge of the graveyard, close to the old thatched cottage, is a large table tomb, and this is to Caroline, the widow of John Robertson of Tobago. Now there's an interesting story to follow up on. Many of these stones are quite difficult to read, but this one stands out. This is James Gold, who died in 1903, and his wife Caroline. This cross here has some quite decorative carving on it. The inscription is too difficult to read, but a lot of work gone into that carving on the cross there. Nearby is Mary Charlotte Gay, wife of John Gay, 1910, and again we've got this very decorative style on the stone. There is so much character in this graveyard. There's a thatched cottage there. As I pan round, you can get a glimpse of the panoramic views here. And then the very old church. This is not quite so common. This is a memorial as a sundial. The name is Emily Pratt, 1933. This one's tilting forward, but we can still read that Ralph Granby Sadler was chaplain in the Royal Navy, retired, rector of this parish between 1931 and 34. And then we've got underneath Ruth Eleanor Sadlier. This is another memorial to the Carew family. It's a cross, and around the base we have these metal plaques. This one here is Peter Carew. Around here we have Timothy Carew. Bit of a sad story behind this one. William Henry Pugsley. He was Bickley's last station master. There is no railway now that runs through Bickley, although there is a miniature railway for visitors to see, but there is no railway service running through Bickley. The line has gone. Although it is a very damp and overcast day, I'll show you some of the views obtainable from the edge of the graveyard. This really is a beautiful part of the country. You're seeing it at its dullest. On a summer's day this would be unbelievably beautiful. Up at the top of the graveyard are the modern graves. This is still being used by the villagers. Very small village, Bickley. And we look down towards the older graves. Up at the top of the bank here, there's a row of very similar in design memorials, and they all appear to be for the Carew family, the lords of the manor, the local landowning family. This one's a little different. This is to Irene Hollier, and we have this image inset into the top of the stone. And down at the bottom, again a metal inset of a flower, possibly a rose. One here in stone, but designed to look like wood. And the name at the bottom is Alfred Bond, 1892. Tight against the church wall here is a tomb. Can't see the name. Often this was reserved for the ministers of the church, the reverends, the vicars. And here by the entrance is the war memorial. Most of these country parishes have war memorials to those that died in the Great War, and then the names those that died in the Second War are often added. This one just says 1914-18, and their names are in the church on a brass tablet. Well, the church is open, so we're going to go inside and see what's inside this very historic church. Well, there is almost no light inside the church here, but I'll do my best. This is the main aisle. Up on the church wall here is some effigies, memorials to the Carew family, and the date I saw on it was 1619. This one here is in memory of Elizabeth, who died in childbirth. And there's her likeness, And down here is the child. You see she has her hand on a skull. And close by is this memorial. Again, I assume it's the Carews. The gentleman is lying completely flat out. The lady behind has a rather blissful expression on her face. She's supported on one arm. And at the end of the bed is this girl, this woman. And at the other end is another one. Down beneath, this is all beautifully decorated in the stone. The little plaque tells me it's for Sir Henry Carew, 1681, and Dorothy, his wife. This church is quite amazing. There's a memorial up here, but it's quite low light. I'm having trouble seeing it. But again, it's a figure. It looks like a child behind. The altar has some quite elaborate carvings behind it. Either side of the cross we've got the lilies. I can just show you the carving on the end of these pews. Very elaborate. I hope you can see this brass plaque, which has 9 names of men from this parish who gave their lives in the First World War. High on the wall here is one, the first name is Agnes Waldron, 1796. Well, I'm going to leave it there. You've seen this place on a very dull day. It's actually raining now. You've not seen it at its best, and yet I can tell you it retains the magic. It's a wonderful place to come and explore. If you can see it on a fine day, you'll enjoy it even more than I have. This is so old, and yet has so much about it. Do come. Till the next time.